This is 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
Right now, a landlord has dozens of warrants out for her arrest. This local woman is accused of illegally renting out nearly 40 condemned houses in South St. Louis. Police have been called to these properties hundreds of times. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. The homes are located throughout South St. Louis in several different neighborhoods. Justina Coronel visited some of those neighborhoods and joins us now with details of a lawsuit.
Yeah, Mike and Ann. So this lawsuit filed yesterday said these landlords and owners engage in predatory business models that exploit vulnerable people. And it accused the co-defendants of charging hundreds of dollars for properties riddled with health and safety code violations.
We're on the 7500 block of Virginia. There are several properties just on this block alone.
Properties riddled with problems.
We will come after you.
It's a priority for the city of St. Louis to make improvements, according to the mayor's spokesperson, Nick Dunn.
We were starting to evaluate some of the more egregious nuisance properties. We connected many of these properties throughout the city to a small group of people who is purchasing these properties, not maintaining them, but still renting them out even though they were condemned.
The city's affirmative litigation unit connected 40 illegal properties in South St. Louis City.
I would say egregious attempt at making money off of properties without performing any maintenance or anything that would actually keep them safe for the people inside.
The city filed a lawsuit against 17 co-defendants, Dara Doherty, some of her associates, and other businesses. SLU law professor Anders Walker scoured through the 57-page suit.
So this is an interesting claim. The argument is that the owners of the properties bought them for pennies on the dollar, have not maintained them, they've been condemned, yet they're renting them out to poor people who are stuck in basements and houses with no electricity or heat, and it's basically exploitation.
The lawsuit claims multiple violent assaults, shootings, and overdoses happened at these properties. Walker believes this might be the tip of the iceberg.
This could be the beginning of a whole new chapter in St. Louis. The city is riddled with vacant properties that are crumbling, and finally we might see some enforcement to get them fixed up.
As the lawsuit continues, Dunn says right now the city is making a statement.
Our goal from these lawsuits is to make our neighborhood safer.
Now, the lawsuit says Doherty has 38 active warrants for her arrest as of September. We have reached out to her, but we have not heard back yet. Now, the city is asking for anyone impacted to come forward and call the Civil Rights Enforcement Agency at 314-622-3301.
Right now, police are working to learn more about a deadly shooting in North St. Louis. It happened last night near North Taylor in San Francisco. That's where police found a man suffering from a gunshot wound. He was taken to the hospital where he died. Right now, police have not yet identified the victim or a suspect. Anyone with information can call Crime Stoppers anonymously. That number is 866-371-TIPS.
Police are also investigating a robbery at an Emo's Pizza in the Central West End. It happened just before 9 o'clock last night on the store on Forest Park Avenue. Workers say a man walked in, pointed a gun at them, and demanded money. The suspect took that money and ran away. Police say no one was hurt, and they're still looking for the suspect.
And developing tonight in North St. Louis County, Ferguson police looking for the people who tried to rob an Uber driver. The driver says he picked up 2 passengers, a man and a woman, last night, and a struggle happened on Forestwood Drive. The driver was shot in the hand. He then accidentally accelerated and lost control of his car, crashing it into a home. The couple who lives there say they first heard a gunshot, and soon after, they heard rumbling.
I felt the house shake, and that's when we realized somebody just hit our house. It was all kind of surreal. It just seemed like something from the movies. It didn't seem like, it just didn't seem like something that would happen to you.
Ferguson police say the driver is in the hospital. They plan to send an officer to the hospital to talk with him. Anyone with information is urged to call the Ferguson Police Department. That number is 314-522-3100.
The cold temperatures and snow have created a perfect storm for infrastructure in our area. This week's winter weather is putting area water mains and pipes to the test. A water main break in Maplewood, a water pipe that burst inside a Bridgeton hotel, and standing water on 270 from a main break have many worried about the continued cold temperatures. Tracy Hinson spoke with Missouri American Water about what this could mean for the days ahead.
We normally do see a higher rate of water main breaks in the winter, but I would say that this is not your average winter.
It has been busy. In St. Louis County alone, Missouri American Water had 29 breaks to work on Tuesday. Now today, before lunchtime, 19 crews were out working different breaks.
Essentially, when you hear the term water main, a way to think of it is just pipe that's underground that carries water from our treatment plants throughout the distribution system, throughout the county, to homes and businesses.
Pipes don't do well in this weather, like this break that sent icy water into a bank in Maplewood early Wednesday morning. Warmer temperatures are going to make it worse.
I know that we're expecting temperatures to come up quite a bit in the next few days, and that can also create main breaks, because what happens is it causes what's known as ground shift, which can cause pipes to break as well.
It's counterintuitive, but melting snow could also lead to more main breaks.
Actually, snow acts as a blanket for those pipes underground, so I'm assuming that the snow is going to melt. We're going to see a little bit of a warmer trend, and then it gets cold again, and we won't have that snow to insulate the pipes. So that's when we could see potential increases in water main breaks.
If you suspect a break, report it to Missouri American Water. Tracy Hinson, 5 on your side.
Missouri American Water can help identify a break in your home, but they are only responsible for fixing pipes up to the meter on your home, not inside your home.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker was in the Metro East today. He visited a manufacturing plant in Alton and an elementary school in Belleville. He says his administration is focused on investing in both manufacturing and early childhood education. Our Mark Maxwell sat down with the governor for a one-on-one interview.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker and executives at Veland Rolled Products announced Wednesday morning the company will invest $500 million in its East Alton copper plant.
Illinois is fast becoming the destination for companies looking to expand or move their operations.
The REV Illinois deal offers Veland $172 million in tax breaks over the next 30 years in exchange for its modern build-out to invest in copper components to upgrade electric vehicle charging stations. In Belleville, Pritzker said the state is well ahead of schedule, building out 5,000 new seats in preschool deserts.
We will have over 82,000 publicly funded preschool seats available across the state, more than ever before.
That's where we sat down one-on-one and asked him about new assault weapons registration rules just enacted, as Southern Illinois Republicans like Darren Bailey openly defy that law.
What are you going to do about that?
We're now, because the rules are in place, going to see many of those people actually stepping up and doing what they're supposed to do. Somebody running for Congress and saying they're not going to comply is just literally playing a political game.
Perhaps, but you often talk about the importance of modeling good behavior, leaders setting an example.
That's true.
It seems he's begging you to set an example, make an example of him.
Well, the example that is being set today is that we as a state are one of only 10 states that have banned assault weapons in this nation.
But the question is, should anyone who refuses to register the gun they do have against the law face prosecution for a misdemeanor or a repeat offense as a Class 4 felony?
Those folks are, in fact, subject to a misdemeanor.
On the first offense.
On the first offense, exactly, and then a felony, right? And that's almost like a warning system. Mm-hmm. And I think that's exactly the way it should be, because this is a new thing that's happened in Illinois. I think there are certainly people who are unsure about what they need to do and whether there are, in fact, consequences.
Reporting in Belleville, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
Governor Pritzker also said Donald Trump's performance in the Iowa caucuses showed weakness because nearly half of the Republican base caucused for someone other than the former president. You can watch that full interview Sunday night on The Record right after Sports Plus.
The St. Louis Blues host a blood drive, while the Red Cross says there is a great need for more donors right now.
Yeah, the weather certainly hasn't helped, right? We are talking about a bit of a warm-up today. It's still relatively mild tomorrow. More Arctic air, though. Good news is the next round doesn't last as long.
This 5 on Your Side newscast is brought to you by Di Pasquale Moore. Remember, Mike's got this.
See that new Encore? Bring $49 down and pay the payment on the window.
See that Terrain? Bring $49 down and pay the payment on the window.
Cardinal Buick GMC is selling every new vehicle for just $49 down.
And pay the payment on the window. These deals are driving me crazy. It's raining.
All new Buick Envista, $49 down, $349 per month. New GMC Acadias, $49 down, $459 per month.
Bring $49 down
Pay the payment on the window.
at CardinalBuickGMC.com.
I'm Stephen Lynch at Volvo Cars West County. We need to clear out the 2023s and jumpstart the 2024s. So don't miss out on these special offers. For a limited time, save up to $12,500 off MSRP on our remaining 2023s. Or if you want a 2024, we have rates as low as 3.99% APR up to 72 months. Offered exclusively at Volvo Cars West County, conveniently located 4 miles west of 270 on Manchester Road. When you think of Volvo Cars West County.
At Together Credit Union, we want you to make the most of your money. With our 9-month CD, you can grow your savings securely with 5.00% annual percentage yield for 9 months. Enjoy a safe investment, high-yield growth, and the peace of mind knowing you can achieve your financial goals. Open your CD today.
My late father-in-law lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had AMD. I didn't know it then, but it can progress to GA, an advanced form of the disease. His struggle with vision loss from AMD made me want to help you see warning signs of GA, like straight lines that seem wavy, blurry or missing visual spots that make it hard to see faces, like this one, or trouble with low light that makes driving at night a real challenge. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. GA is irreversible. It's important to catch it early. Talk to your eye doctor about GA and learn more at GAWon'tWait.com.
District's controversial purchase of the former Caleres headquarters. The Caleres building is right across the street from Clayton High School. Many expected it to be sold and developed into an entertainment district. 4 former Clayton mayors are urging the district to scrap the deal, saying it would cost the city more than $1 million in property taxes per year. The meeting started at 6 at Wydown Middle School.
The St. Louis Blues partnered with the Red Cross to do some good today. The 17th annual Blues Blood Drive was held inside of Enterprise Center. A limited number of free T-shirts were handed out to the donors. This is a crucial time for donations. The Red Cross says they have seen a 40% decrease in the number of donors in the last 2 decades.
Right now, the Red Cross is seeing blood donations the lowest we've seen in 20 years. The holidays and the weather, it really impedes some of our blood donors being able to come out. Their schedules might be a little wonky, so we see a decrease in blood donors this time of year, but the need continues.
There are other opportunities to donate. We have a link with more info in the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com.
Providing a safe and fun space to dream in